Hello everyone, it's been a minute. How are y'all feeling out there? I just want to mention a couple energies that are in the works at the moment. It's Sunday, July 6th, and the sun is in Cancer, and it is conjunct Sirius, the dog star, the big star on campus kind of energy. And the moon is in Scorpio, and coming up tomorrow afternoon, so in a few hours, in about less than 12 hours, around 1 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time, the moon will be at 29 degrees Scorpio in opposition to Uranus and Taurus. And with this kind of energy, we really want to be flexible and relax. Scorpio has the tendency of creating urgency, and with Uranus in the sign of Taurus, Taurus likes to take things slow, and it will, with Uranus there, it will really kind of throw a wrench in your plans, and your best efforts can be kind of thwarted. And that will also, this also expressed with Mars in Virgo, Mars being the ruler of Scorpio, Mars in Virgo with the South Node. And the South Node is that energy that releases what is not necessary or not productive or overused, or that doesn't serve anymore. So Mars being like the energy of a lot of go-getter type energy in the sign of Virgo, which is very organized and all the I's dotted and T's crossed. All those efforts of perfectionism goes out the window with the South Node there. And also with Neptune having just gone retrograde a few days ago on the 4th. It's in Aries at the moment, and it will retrograde back into Pisces, I think, come October. But in the meantime, it will be in Aries, which is kind of in a wide square to Jupiter, and in a sextile to Venus in Gemini. Venus is now in Gemini. So that's another thing to kind of keep in mind too, is Venus in Gemini wants options. Like what's on the other side of, I don't know, the coin, or what's behind door number 2, or, you know, just whatever the other option is. There's always that desire for, or a curiosity for what else is available. And with the moon moving into Sagittarius after 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the moon in Sagittarius, which is also a mutable sign, is going to be in opposition to Venus and Gemini. So they're going to complement one another. They're the complementary opposites. So there's going to be this strong urge for adventure, and just plans are just going to, I mean, the potential of plans going out the window are pretty strong. Like, does not want to be tied down to any sort of strict plan, especially I mean, Sagittarius energy likes to expand and go on adventures. There is the tendency of also, you know, the motivation. So the sense of urgency in Scorpio can be transferred over into Sagittarius as like an excitement, or, you know, enthusiasm to go do something, but still that kind of hyper energy. So we really want to stay grounded during the next few days. Uranus also, I think this is kind of like gearing us up for the shift of Uranus into Gemini. Right now it's at the final anaretic degree of Taurus, and when Uranus moves into Gemini, that's going to be a huge energy shift. We're going from fixed energy Taurus into mutable sign Gemini. And Gemini already wants to see what's on the other end of the spectrum. And then with Uranus, it's sudden flipping of the narrative, the script, the story, options, which can be awesome for problem solving. So this is brilliant energy for problem solving and brainstorming, especially with it being in a trine to Pluto and Aquarius. These are going to address really systemic problems, like collective problems that have been overdue. You know, like Pluto really digs deep, like gets down into the roots to figure out what needs to be composted. So it'll be a big shift. It's mental energy. There can be a lot of information coming our way. I mean, there's already kind of like a preview with wanting to take in so much information at the same time. Like, I don't know about you, but like seeing something on my iPad and then like coming across something on my phone and then wanting to listen to them both and like thinking that I'm able to really absorb what is being broadcasted at the same time. So it's really important to like slow down and stay grounded and touch grass, you know, connect with what's real, you know, the birds, the trees, the stars, the water, you know, ocean, lakes, rivers, your animals. So we really, just stay flexible, expect the unexpected, even more so now than when it was in Taurus, because these are going to be, I feel like they'll be happy surprises with the type of aspects that Uranus will be making as it ingresses into Gemini. And the ingress chart, which is when Uranus enters Gemini, that moment of the ingress is kind of like that birth chart of the cycle of Uranus and Gemini. And when I look at it, when I look at the ingress chart, and I've looked at the discovery chart when Uranus was first discovered, and it's pretty amazing. I'm actually doing, I was actually invited to speak for Synchronicity University with Nadiya Shah, and it's going to be on the 12th of July, and I'll be talking about Uranus and black sheep signatures and the signatures of activists and heretics and other kind of seemingly rebellious famous people or entities, like, you know, countries, corporations, and how the alienation or the rebelliousness is more of a spiritual path. So I'll link that below to share, and if you feel called in, definitely check it out. Recordings are available if you can't make it live. But looking at the ingress chart for this year, 2025, Uranus ingress, there's a lot more harmonious aspects than hard aspects. Like hard aspects being like the square. Even this will be in an opposition to the moon in Sagittarius, and that can speak to just wanting to have adventures, like going on adventures and seeking the truth. But then if we look at the ruler of Sagittarius, which is in Cancer with the sun, Cancer likes to be a homebody. You know, there's a security that wants to be had. So there could be, you know, going on adventures, but maybe you're going camping and making it like more of a home, you know, comfortable, secure environment. Maybe not even camping, maybe just staycations. So it is summertime, so I'm sure like the kids are probably feeling antsy, or maybe they're at camp. But regardless, the ingress chart for Uranus into Gemini is pretty, like, not too intense, if you ask me. You know, we've got harmonious aspects between the yin, between the yang signs. Neptune is retrograde, but it's still in Aries, and it's in a wide square. It's in a separating square from Jupiter. Mars isn't making any hard aspects. Like Venus and Mars are in a wide square. Venus at 2 degrees Gemini and Mars at 11 degrees Virgo. A lot of inconjuncts. Inconjuncts or quincunxes are like when two planets or points are sextile to each other, and then they are both in like an awkward opposition to the planet at the apex. And so there's a lot of those going on throughout the chart, which is awkward. It's just like a very like don't know how to feel about things kind of energy, which tracks, you know, like, or kind of from what I've gathered, a lot of people who I've spoken to, and even, you know, my own feeling, there's a lot of excitement for something that is positive, like looking forward to whatever it might be that the future holds, but also not knowing and not having that footing quite yet, like having an invisible net that we can feel like we can trust, but not really knowing how things are going to play out. And, you know, we're still letting go of the past. We're in the process of breaking ancestral patterns and repairing ancestral karma, healing, a lot of healing going on. And yeah, that's another thing that we can look forward to as well, is a lot of healing with the trine and between Uranus and Pluto, and the sextile with Neptune and Saturn, especially them going retrograde back into Pisces one last time before re-entering Aries for, well, Neptune's going to be in there for I think 14 years, and then Saturn will be there for about 2.5 years. So a lot of healing going on, which as we heal individually, we are able to in turn heal others and heal the earth. So that is something that we can focus on and put some intention into, especially this weekend with Mars, with the Sun at 15 degrees of Cancer conjunct Sirius, the dog star. And Sirius has been a star that has been exalted by many cultures. Egypt uses Sirius as like a focal point in a lot of their holidays and rituals. So yeah, that's just a few things that I wanted to mention. And if you are able to catch the class, it's actually a class that's part of a speaker series. So there's 4 other teachers that will be giving a class, and it's part of Nadiya Shah's Synchronicity University speaker series. So for July 12th, you can choose your tuition. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So I'm excited to present for the first time, and I've been, rabbit holing as I do, and discovering a lot of really cool, empowering information that we can draw from the past and other well-known people's experiences. George Orwell, Rosa Parks, who else do I have in there? Oh, there's people from like the early 1900s in, gosh, I want to say Spain, who have seen visions in the sky that are very spiritual. So that's something that I feel like we're going to see a lot more of, especially while the North Node is in Pisces. So I hope to see you there. If not, then enjoy the recording, and hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully that made sense. Stay grounded, stay centered, stay hydrated for sure. And yeah, thanks for sticking around. Hope you guys had a good Independence Day, and safe travels for those of y'all that are on the road or traveling on vacation or whatnot. So, all right, hope to see you on the next one. All the best.